I guess like everybody else, sad to leave, grateful we have another place and to have had this place. And we also are losing the Son of the Pony reading, which will now be a monthly reading at Cornelius. So this poem is kind of a semi-collaboration activity that was done last year with Kat and Peter and David, Brent Lyon, a few other people, so it seemed fitting to read. And it's called All That Authenticity May Be Getting Old. The solution to your worries is not to worry. A woman I knew named Wendy recommended a daily 15-minute slot of worry time. Her sister Joan wrote down her worries on scraps of paper and kept them in a mini crate of colored popsicle sticks. She called it her God box. They both smoked a lot of crack and grew prematurely wrinkled. The only friend I ever had said, "Watch the closing doors," every time we entered an elevator or subway car. Once, she tripped over some guy's feet in a movie theater and sank straight down. "Are you all right?" the gentleman inquired. "I've been on my knees before," she replied quickly, gathering up her wooden mules and pill vials. "Valium?" she offered politely as we took our seats. "Don't mind if I do," I responded, pulling 2 small bottles of Miller from my pocket. We knew how to watch a flick back then. I am the real deal. I am a pillar of the downtown scene. Young men tell me that. Everyone else ignores me. 30 years ago, I sat on blankets selling books on Astor Place. Jerry the peddler tried to organize us, but we were too busy racing down the avenue, buying junk and selling works. Blue tips were an investment. All that authenticity streams through vessels and slows my legs. All that authenticity is getting old, and so are my peaches and pears. I try to explain it without coffee. "I think," I begin. "Don't think," he interrupts. "How do you not think?" I wonder. "It's easy. You just accept from moment to moment. Then you don't have to think. You get in trouble when you think. You worry when you worry. You get in trouble when you think. All that authenticity, it's getting old."
First one's called Lunar Bridges. The ghastly chrome crescent moon perched in the pitch-black coma of sky watches time unwind and lose itself within lunar dust and midnight waves, rolling deep on the shores, swept underneath lunatic minds of a broken bay ridge, pulsating madly to white wine and weed, smoked in turquoise rooms painted under the sea, where youth flounders, sitting tranquilly, blissfully, alive even, besides bookshelves holding nothing but French existentialism and gravity's rainbow. Suspended conversations hung around like old souls spoken from damaged wires. Electricity sparks new life into dim mates. Winds crack against the window pane where future engagements are finally made from scattered sands of memory. Above the hourglass pours its destiny upon stiletto shadows once seen piercing the sky. The sore eyes glazed over and over, crimson flames tightly tied around the dying flesh of dreams that frightfully beam from the moon. This one's called Revolution from a Basement. Alas, the last hour is at hand. The clock ticks a golden silence over eternity. Now the still clouds begin to roll over the gray sky like a dead dog on the dirty ground. Autumn lays its chilled, slender hand on your shivering and scabby shoulder. A stench of stale thoughts seep within these 4 basement walls, where a warm woman is needed. I sleepwalk in the static night hours. I daydream in the swirling sunshine. Perhaps the sea has something else to offer. Her temperature drops with her womb, preparing for a barren season. Striking the Lower East Side above a mobile gas station, on a naked building's wall, largely graffitied in black, is the war. And like a Jean-Luc Godard film from the Ziga Vertov period, the class struggle is clearly seen. Black, white, or mint green, the socialist election is coming. And like a naive young punk, I puke into the gutter where my dreams are washed, and stealthily depart until the end of the night with the sniveling rats, all sick and starving for a revolution. Thank you.
It's called It's Time to Leave. When you can no longer give freely of your own accord, it is time to take your leave. When to remain would mean giving more of yourself than you can or would. When to continue on would mean a subtle, bleak enslavement, no longer free. To stay no longer makes good sense. You know that you are free to leave, and now it's time. So leave, no looking back. Leave to be free. Thank you.
It's the force of gravity that's dragging me down, won't let me fly to the sky. Common denominator, zero base root, it's all them prime numbers have got me pegged. All those postulated principles of mathematic rage, like tiny lines tying some fat Gulliver down to the ground. It's the force of gravity that's digging all our graves, just like the canyon of the Colorado, age upon age. I need a lighter-than-air craft. I need warp factor 7. I need a law-breaking genius to make new sense of the old facts. I need a death-defying leap to salvation with a vengeance. I need something that I don't know what it is. It's the crude banality that's making me insane. I wasn't always such a screamer for a fix. But all those mass production fashions, from the knack to handy wipes, and all that trivial excitement they engender in the populace, about enough to make you want to plummet to your death from some wild place up in the Himalayas. Force of gravity, those magic little fingers that get into every food item on the shelf. Force of gravity, it calls the lonely traveler as she reaches from the ditch for another round. Take history into our hands. Take history into our hands. Take history into our hands.
Please, a round of applause and a toast to yourselves for getting ready to go forward.